Welcome, lords and ladies, back to the realm. I am your humble host, the Goat King, and today, fresh off the press, we have the Starfinder 2nd Edition playtest rules. Let's get right into the Shirren. Insectile Shirren split from the destructive swarm, forsaking the ruthless hive mind to pursue their own freedom and end the cycle of interstellar violence. Shirrens are a species of telepaths devoted to their own individualism, their communities, and living in harmony with other peoples. The Shirren are neat. I like the Shirren. Anywho, 10 hit points, very respectable. 25-foot speed, constitution, wisdom, charisma flaw, limited telepathy, as we've seen before. Okay, let's take a look at their heritages. The Courtier Shirren. Your telepathy is stronger than most Shirrens, allowing you to combine physical, verbal, and telepathic communication to better articulate your messages. You can transmit emotions alongside your messages whenever you use limited telepathy. In addition, when a creature communicates with you using limited telepathy or regular telepathy, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to perception checks to sense motive. Okay. Instead of just transmitting language, you can also transmit emotions, and you can kind of feel that back from people too. That's cool. Defiant Shirren. Despite the passage of time, you remain resolute in your defiance of the swarm and other insectile tyrants. If you roll a success on a will saving throw, against an effect that was created by a creature with the Kircharn trait? If I had to bet, that's just referring to swarm creatures. I'm guessing that's just related to, that's like a new word, a trait for swarm creatures. I didn't get super into the swarm in 1st edition. I didn't study up on them. So maybe that's been a thing all along, but that's a new word to me. Or a creature that you know is allied with the swarm. So a creature working with the swarm, which might not necessarily be a bug dude. You get a critical success instead. So this bumps will saving throws up to a critical success from a success if you're going up against a swarm. And you get the Rebellious Defiance action, single action mental, once per day. You decry one foe within 100 feet that you can see as a tyrant or villain, and prepare yourself to defy them, even unto death. You gain a +1 circumstance to your attack rolls against this foe, and gain a +1 circumstance bonus to saving throws against the attack spells and effects of the foe, and that all lasts for 1 minute. That is pretty cool. Now, it is easy to get circumstance bonuses to various things, but this just giving it flat to you for pretty much everything to deal with that one individual. Now, you can only do it once per day, but I'd bet there's a feat down there that lets you do it once per hour or something like that. That's cool. I like that. Infiltrator Shirren. You descended from Shirrens who were originally programmed as infiltrators for the swarm. Your chitin is iridescent and creates patterns that fascinate and distract most other ancestries. You can feint at a range of 10 feet, rather than solely while within melee reach of your intended target. You gain the Shimmering Dazzle action. Once per hour, single action, mental and visual. You cause your chitin to flare and shimmer in a hypnotic display of shifting color and soothing motion. Pick a creature within 30 feet. That creature must succeed a fortitude save against your class DC or become dazzled for 1 round. I like anything that lets you dazzle or blind opponents. I think it's great. Once per hour is kind of restrictive, but this could be pretty good. It's always nice to have something that you can pull out of the woodwork. Swarm Exile Shirren. While most Shirrens broke away from the swarm long ago, you're a more recent convert. You come from a group of castaways that have more in common with the swarm than most other Shirrens. You gain a Biocannon ranged unarmed attack with a range increment of 20 feet that deals 1d6 acid damage. Your Biocannon is in the corrosive weapon group. When you select this heritage, choose whether this attack comes from an underslung launcher on one of your arms, or a launcher mounted over one of your shoulders, or from your mouth. You cannot change this selection. That's interesting. Heritages that give an unarmed attack are pretty common, and there's even a few, I think, in Pathfinder 2nd Edition that can give you a ranged one. I'm pretty sure the Leshy, one of the Leshy heritages gives you like a seed pod attack that's a ranged attack. Thing that's catching me on this is that you need to choose whether it's on an arm, a shoulder, or it's coming from your mouth. I'm wondering what the importance of that is going to be, if that choice has meaning in the future or if it's just a flavor thing. Anywho, winged Shirren, your ancestors were members of the swarm who evolved wings. Though you don't possess a fully functional pair of wings, you can develop them over time. When leaping horizontally, you move an additional 5 feet. You don't automatically fail your checks to high jump or long jump if you don't stride at least 10 feet first. In addition, when you perform a long jump, you can jump a distance up to 10 feet further than the result of your athletics check, within the normal maximum of your speed. As long as you can act, you take no damage from falling, regardless of the distance you fall. That's a very Pathfinder-like wing heritage, or at least a remaster level wing heritage, because they got a little stronger after the remaster, and this is right in level with that. So it does seem like some species are just going to have fly built in. Some of them might get fly, like full flight, from a heritage. We'll have to see if that happens. But this one is basically a Pathfinder heritage for flight. Moving into the ancestry feats, let's see if they've got any particularly interesting ones. Okay. At 5th level, we get basic insectile flight, which just gives you 10 minutes of flight with a fly speed that's your land speed plus 10, once per day. This is interesting. Learning experience. You're always interested in experiencing new sensations and opening your mind to new ideas. Before you roll damage from a persistent effect, you can choose to take half damage from the effect. When you do, you automatically fail your flat check to end the persistent damage, and you can immediately recall knowledge as a free action to recall information related to the source of the persistent damage. If you have any special abilities or free actions that would normally be triggered when you recall knowledge, you can't use them with this action. That's new. That's interesting. That's pretty cool, actually. Just getting using being on fire to try and learn more about fire elementals and such. I like that. Advanced insectile flight at level 9 appears to just be flight. You can now fly. I mean, you still keep the unfurl wings action, but it lasts until you use it to put your wings away. So your wings can always be out if you want them to be, and I don't really know why you wouldn't. Okay, I'm finding a lot of feats for this ancestry that are cool. Improved biocannon at level 9, increased to 40 feet, sure. But more importantly, each time you use it, you can choose to grant your biocannon the area line trait as a free action. So, that's pretty cool. Anywho, thank you again for visiting the realm. I have been your humble host, the Goat King, and as always, travel with loyal companions.